So this is from a viewer named TGS via email. They said, Entrapta and Hordak are some of the best disability representation I, a disabled woman, ever saw. We not only have two well-written disabled people who are not defined by their disability and no sob stories or burdens, but also have an epic and healthy romance with each other. It's groundbreaking. And they actually even talk about their internalized ableism and help each other out of it. Do you have any thoughts on this relationship?
I think that a lot of a theme, especially with Entrapta, is while she sort of struggles to communicate with some of the other princesses, like they don't quite see eye to eye with her, and I think that's a big source of pain for her. But at the same time, she sees humanity in everything and everybody, and I think that, you know, kind of the way that we viewed Hordak was that he was like, you know, he a little bit of a robot, you know, like he was sort of made for a very, very specific purpose. And he views like not being able to do that purpose perfectly as a failure, which really ties back into kind of like, I think what all of our characters are going through in some way. Here's what I'm supposed to be. Here's what I've been told I'm supposed to be. And I don't feel like I'm reaching that. So I must be failing. So I just have to work harder to reach that point. When the truth is that like, that's not who you are. You are yourself. You're who you choose to be. And your imperfections are part of that. And I think Entrapta is able to see that. And I think that like Hordak, I don't know that he ever thought of it that way before her. And so the knowledge of like, oh, like I don't have to just be this tool, this piece, this gear in the machine. I could actually make a different choice. And I think he's only at the very beginning of that journey. But I think it's just like, he's a zealot. Like he's so committed to Horde Prime. You never see him question that until Entrapta. So it's something where it is like, you know, I think, she knows what it's like to feel like you're like in the wrong place. Like Hordak's basically, he's almost from the wrong show. He crash lands on this magical fairy planet and has no idea how anything works. Everything's strange to him. And he's just like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get home. And I think Entrapta was the first time he's like, oh, not so bad. Maybe I'm wrong about all this. And like, he's just at the start of that realization when Horde Prime returns. So yeah, I mean, I think that like it's something like his arc is like I just feel like I can imagine how it goes and how like, you know, actually finally being part of a community, not just part of like a brainless army, would change him. But yeah, that's kind of how we approach it. I don't know if Shane, Entrapdak captain or first mate wants to weigh in there.
The only thing I want to add, I think everything you said is beautiful. It's just like, you know, I often think of like Hordak and Light Hope as being very similar characters, that they were literally created as like almost like software with an intended purpose. And, you know, whether or not the future for all these clones on Etheria is very interesting to me now. Like, they're on the planet, and it is sort of like this blank slate for these characters, like who they're going to become. I think it's exciting, and you know what that means going forward, who knows? But yeah, I think it's interesting if you were to not get a blank slate, but it's like, what does it mean in a world like Etheria that believes in restorative justice and believes in, you know, going forward, like what that would mean for a character like that who is like an